Hi, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants to another draft film breakdown. And today we're going to look at Micah McFadden, the 5th round pick linebacker of Indiana. Might be the most fun one of these like day 3 guys to do. He's just a fun player at 6'1", 240 pounds. Put up a lot of production. He was the motor behind the Indiana defense. He really was. Like, he set things up for them in coverage. Like, he would ruin progressions. He's a pass rusher, had over 6 sacks the past 2 seasons. 15.5 tackles for a loss last year. Even in 2019, he had 9 tackles for a loss, 2 interceptions. So he's a pass rusher who's quick, fast, agile, and can really just cause havoc. He does have some issues, though. He's not great taking on blocks. You know, when he's not able to shoot that gap, he has the trouble taking on blocks. But I think he's pretty damn good in coverage. And we're gonna go through all facets of his game. But he's a very exciting player who, again, might have some strength and size limitations. But outside of that, man, he's a playmaker. And I think Wink Martindale has a very serious role for him on this team. And I think we're going to see in some of this film that it's like this is type of, blitz schemes that Wink Martindale's going to want to run. So let's get into it. We're actually going to go through the pass rushing first. So first rep. Bam. QB hit on Bailey Zappi. Patriots QB now. So you see him get down. See how he gets this offensive lineman to punch? Stops, bam, right hand through, rip, go, bam, QB hit. Just all very, like, just nice, like, getting into it quick, nice fluid. Bam, QB hit. And he has those reps all the time. Here we got him on this rep. Again, that fight. Start out, and you see that lateral ability. That we're here. Bam. Just quickly working outside in. Bam. Bring the right hand through. Ripping through that shoulder. I mean, just totally opens the hips. Now we got a double team. Now, fight through that. Fight through that and chase the quarterback down. Next rep, we're going to see something very similar. Lined up here. Working outside in. Bam. Rip through. You've got these 2 guys blocking you. Use those hands. Bench them off you. And just wreaking havoc for the offensive line. Which also sets up, this stunt. Takes the running back off his responsibility. I mean, you're taking up 2 blockers. Even though he's not able to get to the QB on that one, he's taking up 2 blockers. Here, this is just a nice sack on a double pass. I mean, he has good tracking ability. There's some other really nice tracking plays that I didn't throw in this, but good stuff. But I think that counts as, no, that probably counts as a tackle for a loss. But I wanted to throw that one in there. We got him lined up here on this one. QB hit. He's just got that ability to break down blockers coming from depth. Because he's got that lateral ability that if you come at him, like you have a fullback. If a fullback wants to come screaming down and try and net this block, he's going to make you miss. So breaks guys down. Bam, now you're getting a nice QB hit along with somebody else on the team. Lined up here on this one. Here's something, and I actually saw this a lot. I'm going to show 2 plays of it. This is stuff that I watch every, Giants game, offense versus defense. I don't see this a ton. Like, guys aren't, like, they're not doing this type of stuff. And that's setting up the stunt. One, you got to have the ability, that athletic ability to get into this gap to just, get upfield anyways. But on top of that, one, you're opening his hips up. That's your main job. But once you hear sacrificing yourself, and just throw himself into the hip of this left tackle. And you got yourself you got a sack. And he gets the sack stat. But raise your hand in the air, my man, because you created that sack. Let's see it here again. This one's in a run play. But again, shooting the gap, getting his hips open, using that right hand to push. Set up the tackle for him. Good stuff. Now let's just go through some regular run run play stuff. Lined up right here. Again, this opens up for him. So don't give him credit for this, but what you can credit him for is just this lateral ability to get flat down the line and make a tackle. A lot of guys, this happens, and they're not able to get here. He's got that athletic ability to get there and that agility. Here, and again, setting up stats for his teammates. You've got a light box. I actually did an individual breakdown of this on Twitter. But you got a light box. They're trying to run against it. To get inside, shoot the gap, rip the shoulder, and allows this stunter to come across. And then he's filling the gap left open by number 4. He's able to get through there, get upfield, and allows him to get the tackle for a loss. Because if he just works outside in and gets stonewalled right here, yeah, he's going to loop around. He's going to hit this lane and get a nice 4 or 5 yard gain. It's not going to be enough to convert a 3rd and 8, but they were down by 5 at the time, and they probably would have went for it on 4th. But now they have 4th and 11, and they have to kick the field goal. Like these are game-changing plays by Micah McFadden. To again not stop here, to be able to get skinny and get through there. Those are game-changing plays. Lined up here on this one. You see the speed, the athleticism show up. Shoot through this. Get low. Shoot through this. Play's already made, but good stuff for Micah McFadden. Lined up here on this one. Some more basic run fits. You know, not just like gap shooting. Patient. Iowa uses a lot of misdirection, and they're doing this out of the Wildcat. Patient, fill. Let everything develop, fill. Now, here's an issue with him is his tackling. This is not a good tackle effort. Not effort, but attempt. You don't want to just fall and go for his legs, and we're going to see how it can get him in trouble. Good play, but that'll get you in trouble. So here we are at the goal line. Nice. Patient read. Sees this wham block. He knows. Again, a lot of guys are just running forward. They see him running forward. They want to meet him. He knows that this is going to be cut back into this lane. He fills it perfectly. Bam. But that's a bad tackle attempt. And he's able to roll off for 6. You gotta get low, drive your feet, and wrap up. Again, I know he's not the biggest guy, but he can do those type of things. Because again, that's the difference between a goal line stop and 6 points. So he makes those game-changing plays, but that's stuff he needs to get better to be a down-in, down-out linebacker, which he won't be right away. He needs to get better at that, get better at taking on blocks, which is another negative we're going to go through. Again, nice run stunt. Read it. Fill your gap. The tackle's a little low, but a good play made by Micah McFadden. That's the biggest issue to me more than the tackle attempts. Is when most of the time these guys aren't able to get on him, land on him cleanly. With the NFL offensive linemen, they're going to be more patient. They're going to know how to do that. And how are you going to deconstruct that block? How are you going to hold your ground? And too often, he's either getting moved back or on this play, just totally pancaked. Again, he's got to 2-gap this. So if this guy makes a big run, I'm not mad at Micah McFadden. Because he has to play both gaps on this because they're playing with a light box. You know, it's 5 versus 5. You got an open gap. So he has the responsibility of 2-gapping this. But what you can't have is getting dominated like that. Those are the type of things you can't have. And again, here, they're going to run a draw play. And I know this is Linderbaum. Linderbaum's a really good player. But you got to have a better plan for this. Rip through. You're not going to... Most offensive linemen, you're not going to rip through. But Linderbaum's not the... He doesn't have the long arms. He's not the strongest guy. You got to have a plan for deconstructing because they're going to win that battle versus you. You're 6'1", 240. These big dudes are going to win that battle versus you. Again, you can see 63 peels off. Good read. You know, he's playing his gap, which this is his gap right here. He hits back, bounce, but getting pushed off the ball. So he's just got to be better taking on blocks. And again, he's a 5th round pick, so there's going to be flaws to his game. But that's his major flaw. To me, that's a bigger flaw than the tackle attempts. That's his major flaw that's going to stop him from being a down and out linebacker to start his career. Now we're going to go through some of the coverage. It's excellent. In zone coverage, he's got good instincts. He reads the QB's eyes, and he's aggressive with it. A lot of guys read QB's eyes, and they're not aggressive. He is. And in man coverage, we're going to go through some reps, man. He's able to just stick in the hip of guys. Like, linebackers don't cover tight ends anymore. I think Micah McFadden has the ability to do that. Again, playing his zone, reading the QB's eyes, having good feel. Bam. Okay, you want to come back here? I'm there too. Shutting down a play. That's a forced incompletion. It won't go on the advanced stats of forced incompletions. That's a forced incompletion by Micah McFadden. Lined up here on this one versus Iowa. Watch him run with this tight end. Get in the hip. Play it. Flip your hips. You're there. You're there. You're shutting down this read. You're shutting down where this quarterback was trying to go. That quarterback was trying to hit the tight end. Instead, he skips one to the slot wide receiver. Here, lined up out wide, you're not going to think he's going to come cover this guy, right? He's not going to come cover that guy, is he? Yeah, he is. And he's going to run with his ass, too. He's going to come from here to get inside that hip, sees the dig coming, turn, and you're running with him. Again, motion, pick it up, flip your hips, run, get in there. Good stuff from Micah McFadden. Really good stuff when he's manned up. On this one, what do we have? What do we have? Just good route recognition. Seeing this. Getting underneath it. Nothing special, but just doing your job. On this one, what do we have? Oh, this is stick. Immediately reads this QB's eyes and goes. I mean, just immediate. Good job on the DB as well. Bam. Lay a hit. Incompletion. I don't know who we're going to give that credit to, him or the DB. But that's... He turns, we're going. And I'm telling you, this may not seem like much, but there's a lot of linebackers who he turns, they're still sitting here. And then they go at this point. And that's the difference of hitting him right here and being right here. I don't know who forced the incompletion, probably number 1. But again, good stuff from Micah McFadden regardless. Ruining progressions. See, flip, get down the line, ruin a progression. Watch his eyes. This is where he wanted to go. Now, the safety's here too, so he shouldn't have went there regardless. Now you got to throw a tight pass that ends up incomplete. This last good one, you're just hearing man coverage on the running back. Good tracking ability. Bam. tackle for loss. You get a tackle for your loss on your stat book without having to shoot a gap. Just reading it and just that speed to close. Now, this didn't happen a lot, but I didn't want to not put it on there because this didn't get called in the game, but this will get called in the NFL. And it can change drives. That's a bad holding call. That's a bad defensive holding. He gets fooled by this, thinking it's a drag. That's going to get called. He hooks him pretty damn bad. So, Micah McFadden, man, I really like him. And I keep forgetting to ask you guys to like and subscribe to the channel, which is really, I keep forgetting to do that at the beginning. So please like and subscribe to the channel. Check out all the other draft film breakdowns. But Micah McFadden, fun player. Let's see if he's going to be a good player in the NFL. But right now he's a fun player on a team that has Blake Martinez coming off an injury and then Tay Crowder's a second inside linebacker. So this guy should be able to come in and compete for playing time. You know, him and Darren Beavers, who there will be another breakdown out for him soon too. So Micah McFadden, very, very fun player out of the University of Indiana.